So I had I had an accident in 2010 where I was rear-ended by someone. I was in a truck. I was stopped at a light, and they were driving into the sun. They didn't see our vehicle. They rear-ended us going 60 miles an hour. And I had since had a lot of back pain and neck pain and a lot of issues. And then going into 2020 with the virus, I did get that in November, and it really hit me hard. I was one of the ones that they really weren't sure if I was going to make it there for a while. My husband is a firefighter. He's an EMTI. And he had said at one point, like, you really need to make sure that your breathing doesn't get below 91. And we were watching my O2 stats, and it just continued to go below 90 and then 86. And we were just desperate. And my hair was just falling out, and muscle deterioration and breathing deterioration. And it's just, my health just continued to go from bad to worse. So from back pain to hair loss to muscle loss to, I was in bad shape, actually.
He wants to do it.
Wow. Amazing. What a horrible experience to have to go through. And when, I know you had that for a while, and it was right when you were starting to recover that the patches were introduced to you, but you were still dealing with the issues, correct?
Yeah. So I was out of commission the entire month of November, but I got introduced to the patches by Kathy McCarthy in March, at the beginning of March. God bless her, by the way.
2022?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. So she called me, and she was like, hey, I have something that I think is going to help you drastically. Like, can I come over and talk to you about it? And I didn't give it a second thought because of who Kathy is. And she has phenomenal integrity with me and my family. So I didn't bat an eye. There she is. She showed us the information on the X39 patches. And with that being said, that was on March 8th. And what she was talking about was everything that, which I now know is what David Schmidt was talking about on phototherapy, and how the light works. And I was just intrigued, but I didn't know what anything meant. I just knew that she was talking about how this one gentleman had said that he used it, and how he used it. He had like knee pain, had gone away. And there was like testimonials of all these different things that other people were getting relief from. Well, this one person had gotten, they had shown signs that it helped their hair grow back. Well, my daughter is one of the top hairstylists out here in Las Vegas. And she had told me that I had lost somewhere between 25 and 35% of my hair, because there's something
significant.
So I was like, I have nothing to lose. So I'm like, my dad, who is one of the most, I don't want to say he's a pessimist, he's skeptical. He's very skeptical. And Kathy was talking, and she was just, she was just, by the grace of God, she was just very patient with my parents. And my dad took a breath, and he shrugged, and he goes, what do we have to lose? And I was like, what do we have to lose? We have nothing to lose. So that night we bought 5 packs of patches, so that me, my husband, my mom and dad, and we had an extra patch in case my daughter, she's grown, she'll be 25 this year. And we were like, that's it for the next 30 days. We're all going to try these little wafer patches and see how they work for us.
And you
And
had
that's
no
how it
idea what
started.
was going to happen, Amy. So
We really didn't know. Yeah. We
right.
had,
So I know we have some images of your hair growth coming back, but before we do that, or Peter, if you want to load those, I know, Amy, you also told me about your gray hair, right? Tell me about that and your back pain.
yeah. So when I was losing my hair, I realized I had a ton of gray hair, which was aging me. But then the hair loss too, it made me look, when I was moving it, it made me look almost like I was a recovering cancer patient, how when your hair starts growing back. And my daughter, for my birthday this year in January, my daughter had made an appointment for me to get my hair done. My husband said, I want you to do a treatment on mom. So I went in to get my hair done, to get my grays covered. And when I sat down, she's like, wrestling with my hair. And she goes, okay, so what are we doing today? Dad said you wanted a treatment done. And I'm like, I don't know. Like, I'm thinking, she's going to cover my gray. And she goes, well, you don't have any gray. It's been 16 weeks since I had gotten my hair done. And she was like, you really don't need this done. Like, we can do a mini touch up. I'll trim your ends. But she said, you really don't need to be here. And I think that was the one thing where I was like, there must be something to these patches, because it's changing in how thick my hair is growing back. And
so we're looking at some images here. This is when you were losing some of your hair.
Yeah.
And then we have the after
the date up there. Yeah. It was just clumps. It was horrible.
Yeah, the after picture looks really nice. So if we could pull that up. Look at that. Look how beautiful.
2 weeks ago. And the thing is, she was like, I can't explain it. And I was like,
she's like, I've never seen this before.
She hasn't seen it before.
Time to be in pain. Amy, on a scale of 1 to 10, on a pretty much daily basis, what would you say your pain was prior to patching?
Well, I would say right after the virus, with that in combination with my back pain, I was at a steady 8.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. Yeah, that affects your life, doesn't it? It affects everything in your life.
Well, yeah, because you can't lay down, you can't sit down, you can't stand, you can't. I mean, I remember sitting crying because I just couldn't function.
Right.
Yeah.
And not only that, pain drains you, so you're exhausted. You're mentally exhausted, right?
Absolutely.
So today, February 8th, 2023, what is your pain level?
0. Yeah.
Absolutely love it. Absolutely love it.
Yeah.
Awesome. Now, one more quick story from you, then we got to move along, okay? Yep. I know you told me that you were on vacation and you got a bad sunburn. Is that correct?
Yes. So when Mother's Day came around, I saw that the company was doing a promotion for Mother's Day for the Alavita Trio patch, the Alavita Skin Trio, where you get the day cream, the night nectar, and then the Alavita patch. And normally in the past, I've had like mom guilt about buying myself something. But I was like, not this year. This year I'm going to get it. So this past May, I bought it. And I had used it from May until this November. Ryan and I went to St. John for a week with my sister. And while we were down there, we were there for a week. And on day 2, we just got scorched. I mean, burned. And then, I mean, we continued to get burned while we were there. But I had taken the night nectar and the patches so that I could continue to use it, because I had read that it was clinically proven to help rejuvenate the skin. So I was like, let me just give it a shot. So I asked my husband, do you want to use this every night? I said, do you want to use this or put a patch on? And he told me no. So I'm like, okay. I used it. I washed my face, put the cream on, put a patch on the back of my neck. and went to bed. Woke up in the next morning, put the skin cream on. We went out, no problem. Well, we get home back to Vegas. My skin healed beautifully. I did not peel at all. Meanwhile, he peeled like a snake for 3 weeks after.
Wow.
It was bizarre. But so many people commented on my skin. It didn't look like I came back from vacation or anything, because it just healed beautifully.
It's nice how it rejuvenated. Very, very nice.
It did.
Yeah, I
it
mean,
did
it's
rejuvenate.
incredible.
It did. It rejuvenated.
I mean, your skin looks awesome. Your skin looks awesome. So that's one of the things that we notice all the time too, Amy's people's skin. We all look younger, right, Peter? Everyone looks younger on these products. So moving right along to your husband, Ryan, who's a firefighter. That's a stressful job, right? I know he works out all the time. I know he has you have a couple quick things to mention about him and what his results have been with the X39.
Yeah, so his biggest thing that he saw that has really helped him with is when he works out, it has shortened his recovery period from workouts, where he doesn't feel as sore from workout to workout, which is one thing. The second thing is a lot of firefighters have horrible sleep patterns because they're constantly being interrupted in the middle of the night. So for him, sleep is something that is very difficult, and this has helped his sleep.
Incredible. That is huge. Absolutely huge. Now we have your parents, your mom, Nancy, who's 78, your dad, Carl, who's also 78. Can you briefly tell us about them and what has happened? And Peter, we have some more images.
Sure. So who would you like? Okay, so this is my dad. This past March, my dad severed his finger. It was hanging like off, like he was cut to the bone. He was trying to break down a cardboard box, and he accidentally severed his finger all the way to the bone. So he went to the ER and they stitched him up. You can see it right there. And I had said, hey, Dad, you're using the X39 patches on the back of your neck. How about you put one on like the webbing of your finger, which is like right between your thumb and you can, if you scroll down just a little, you'll see it right on his hand, because he's holding it on with a Band-Aid as well, just in case he washes his hand. And from day 1 to day 5, see right there, you can see the Band-Aid. Day 1 to day 5, his finger started itching, where that shows a sign of things happening underneath, right? And so he went back to the ER, because at first he was like, well, it's a good sign. And then he got nervous and he was like, maybe something's happening. And the ER physician was like, hey, someone your age, this shouldn't be going in such a fast, it shouldn't be mending as quickly as it is. And he didn't say, about the X39 patch, because he doesn't know how to explain it. But then here it was the day it happened, then it was 5 days later, and then now you see he doesn't even have a scar where it happened.
That's truly incredible at 78 years of age. I mean,
it's insane.
Incredible.
If you would have told me that these things happened, if I wouldn't have seen and witnessed these things myself, I never would have believed you. I would have thought you were crazy. I would have thought I was crazy.
Absolutely.
You can't make it up.
That's understandable, because this is unusual, right? But we have something unique and different that no one else has, right? So your mom, Nancy, is also 78. And Peter, we do have an image of Nancy before and after. So Amy, your mom was wheelchair bound, right?
She was. So the wheelchair photo is from my niece's bridal shower.
Okay.
So
There she
that right
is.
there, that is my mom with all her grandgirls, like her
Aw.
grandbaby girls. And at that point, my mom, she was 77, and she was told that she was too old for knee replacement surgery, that she didn't have any options. Her options were wheelchair bound or chronic pain medication for the rest of her life, like in order to deal with the pain. And she was like, I can't have both of those. Like, I just don't have any options. So when Kathy came over and she sat with us, my mom thought, okay, well, maybe this is the one option that I need. So she thought, I have nothing to lose. So she's been using the X39 patches and the Ice Wave pain patches, and she uses them every day. And she has learned where to place her Ice Wave pain patches so that she has no pain. And it has taken her from being wheelchair bound to she has then gone to a walker.
Wow.
She has
Wow.
zero. She uses nothing now. No walker.
Oh my gosh, Amy, she looks like a brand new person.
She is a brand new person.
Look at the smile on her face. I mean, she looks like she lost weight too. Did she lose weight?
Mm-hmm. This is her grandson. But she walked into our house this past Sunday and she had like a little pep in her step. And we were like, you don't even have dad's arm. Like she was like, I know, I love it. I love life. And to hear your mom, who's 78, love life like that, it's just
that's priceless. That's you cannot put a price on that. Wow. Incredible. All right. Woo. Now moving right along, we're going to talk about Thor. He's your 9-year-old Great Dane. And if I heard you correctly, you told me he's 189 pounds.
True.
Wow. So he's a mini pony or horse, right? Pretty much.
Yes.
Wow. So we have some great photos, folks, of Thor. And so as Peter's showing this, Amy, you're saying this just happened all of a sudden, like one day, just kind of woke up and it was like this, like he didn't get injured or anything, right?
He didn't get injured. No, we had been told that Great Danes have a life expectancy somewhere between 7 and 9 years. And here he's at 9. So we thought it would be kind of like a decline, but it was like overnight. And all of a sudden he's like, his hindquarters are dropping and he's in pain. And I was like, I think I'm going to have to put him down, but Ryan is gone all the time. I can't physically do anything for him by myself. So I had called the vet. The vet couldn't help him. No one could help me with him. So I called Kathy McCarthy and she said, what about the Ice Wave patches? So we made a makeshift collar out of a t-shirt and I made like a pocket on the back of it. And I put the X39 patch, an Aeon patch, and the Ice Wave patches. You can see on his hind quarter, on his hip, I put a positive, like the white and the tan one. And it took 10 hours. And he was walking around and eating. And I was like, okay, he's eating, so he must be feeling better. And within 3 days, he was running up and down our hallway there as if he was a new pup. And that's what and I was nervous because I didn't know how it was going to affect him, but I figured we just don't have anything to lose at this point. But those patches made all the difference. He's a new dog.
Wow. Yeah, because that very first photo, he looks uncomfortable.
He was miserable.
When I look at that, I could feel it.
Yeah, if you watch the video, it's even worse.
Wow. Wow. Now, Peter, do we have one more photo of the dog before we move on? Do you know?
So one of the questions someone asked, how did I get them to stick? And they stuck perfectly on his hair. Like, So this was day 3.
Oh, wow.
And he's like, he's walking around like no problem. You'll see him run in a second.
Wow.
He's a big boy, but my husband will throw it and then you'll see him run.
Mm-hmm. So you're saying within 10 hours, he went from being in a lot of discomfort to now walking and running within 10 hours of being patched. Is that correct?
That's correct.
Incredible. Incredible. Well, Amy, I want to
telling you,
thank you for coming on here.
Yeah, my pleasure. This company has changed our family's life. Absolutely. It is worth it. All I can say, you got nothing, you have nothing to lose. Just